Antarctica. It's the coldest place on Earth, but the Earth is warming up, and the Antarctic ice is receding. And as the ice has receded and thinned, it has revealed some mysterious structures, from pyramids to huge cave entrances, to even what some speculate could be crashed UFOs. And in this video, we are going to go through all of them. This is Strange Structures in Antarctica. First of all, a bit of background. Antarctica has always had a bit of mystery surrounding it. Bizarrely, the continent appeared on many ancient maps before it had even been discovered by modern humans. For example, the official year when Antarctica was discovered is 1820. And if you look at this 1818 Pinkerton map of the Southern Hemisphere, you will see, as expected, there is nothing there in the Antarctic because it was 2 more years before Antarctica was discovered. But strangely, Antarctica is shown on this map from 1590, this map from 1570, and this map from 1513. This one is the Piri Reis map, and it shows part of the Antarctic coast without ice that Ottoman admiral and cartographer Piri Reis believed to be connected to South America. These people shouldn't have known that there was land down there because no one had ever been there. Now, one explanation that dates back to Roman times is that they believed there was a southern continent to act as a counterweight against the land masses in the northern hemisphere so that the flat disk that is the Earth would be balanced. But I mean, flat Earth? Really guys, come on. Everyone knows it's the sun that's flat, not the Earth. Researcher Graham Hancock says that those maps from the 1500s were based on earlier source maps that are now lost, i.e. there was some ancient knowledge of Antarctica from thousands of years ago. But it gets stranger. Scientific research shows Antarctica used to be a warm, thriving ecosystem. Core samples suggest this was about 90 million years ago.
We saw immediately more than 60 different taxa of plants, similar to something that you would find in a rainforest.
Was there an ancient civilization around that time on Antarctica? Well, if you follow the theory of evolution, no. But if you think humankind is older than that theory suggests, then maybe. Now, many world governments have been very interested in Antarctica for some reason. Hitler sent a mission down there in 1938, which is often claimed by conspiracy theorists for the purpose of setting up a secret base and getting advanced technology from aliens that live down there. No comment on the validity of that. Then after the war, in 1946, the Americans sent a massive task force of 70 ships, 33 aircraft, and 4,700 men down to Antarctica. Of course, there was a mundane explanation, which is establishing a base down there, training, gathering scientific data, but I think in the minds of many conspiracy theorists, the goal was to defeat the last Nazis who'd fled down to Antarctica on UFOs. I certainly imagine it being something more like this. So anyway, Antarctica is a strange place, and that now brings us to strange things that internet users have found on Google Maps satellite images of Antarctica. Number 1, pyramid. This pyramid is almost perfectly 2 kilometers wide on each side. That's 10 times the measurements of the Great Pyramid in Giza, Egypt. However, to me, it does appear to be connected to the rest of a mountain range, which makes me think that it's just a mountain. It's a very perfect shape, but still not as perfect as the pyramids you see in Egypt, and thus potentially may not be man-made. Number 2, ice cavern entrance. Another stunning discovery on Google Earth was this ice cavern entrance on an island off the coast of Antarctica. Now, this one is actually way more interesting to me, and it looks a lot more likely that there could be human activity going on at this site than at the supposed pyramid. First of all, the size is out of this world. It is 250 feet wide and probably about 75 feet tall, which means a 747 aircraft could fly into or out of this opening. Another thing I find peculiar is that the ice below the entrance is gray, as if something with an exhaust really has been flying in and out of it. So could this be something like the Rebel base on Hoth with multiple spaceships inside? Another mundane explanation, though, could be that there is a river that flows out of it and that deposits silt and stones on the ice, and that's why it is grey or black. I much prefer the UFO base explanation, though, but whatever. Number 3, unknown shipwreck. On the ice shelf around this island off the Antarctic coast near New Zealand, there is what looks like a ship laying on its side on the ice shelf covered in ice. There is no record of a ship being lost in this region. However, looks can be deceiving. Maybe it's just a ship-shaped iceberg. This other chunk of ice looks like a Romulan warbird from Star Trek, so that must be what it is. Number 4. Giant squid. If you look at any old maps of the Southern Ocean, there are always sea monsters, especially down near Antarctica. And it seems that Google picked up a photo of some kind of sea creature surfacing. To me, it looks like it could be a giant squid. It has this pointed head, but then why is it surfacing and it looks like there is something underneath it? So could it actually be a giant squid wrapped around a whale like this, with the whale surfacing to try and get rid of it? Interesting thing is, Google actually purposefully included this. You see how there is a black circle of ocean? That is where they chose to include a set of photos instead of just showing terrain of the sea floor. So there must have been a reason Google decided to include it, because there's no islands around there, so they definitely wanted to show this to you, and that makes me think that it definitely is a giant squid. Number 5, a square building. Now, this one is pretty mysterious, since there is a perfect square on one of the ice shelves off Antarctica. To me, it looks like a square building with a door on each side, kind of like those massive buildings that NASA built for the Saturn V rockets and the space shuttle. Judging by Google Maps, this building in Antarctica, if it is a building, would be 2,000 feet wide. But that is a ridiculously big object to be sitting on top of the ice. So maybe there is some other explanation, like it isn't actually a perfect square, but the camera angle just made it look that way. Number 7, giant staircase. This is what some people are calling a staircase for giants. It's on the side of a mountain, and the rock does appear to be in a very uniform set of rectangles, kind of like stairs. Could this be a natural formation, or is it man-made by giants? Frost giants, maybe. And now let's move on to our final set of strange structures. Number 8, crashed UFOs. Now, if we zoom in on this mountain range, we can indeed observe something that looks like half a saucer. Where's the other half? Maybe it's cloaked, or maybe it's buried in the rock. But I'm sorry to break it to you guys, if you look at the surrounding area around this crashed UFO, there are a lot of pools with ice around the edges, and it just looks to me like a semi-oval shaped pool of water. But wait, there's another one. This one shows what people believe to be a triangular spaceship sitting on the bottom of a crater in Antarctica. This is what UFO people call a TR-3B. It is supposedly a reverse-engineered alien spacecraft flown secretly by the US military. People do claim to have seen them near military bases. Now, that may sound like a load of garbage to you until you realize that someone actually patented such a spacecraft in 2006. Like, you can actually search this patent number on the US Trademarks and Patent Office website, and it comes up with this filing for a patent on a triangular spacecraft. And now there's one sitting at the bottom of a crater in Antarctica. Or maybe it's just a chunk of ice. Who knows? Guys, I wanted to believe these, I really did, but I have to say that I think most of them have a reasonable explanation. The crashed UFOs are probably just optical illusions, the pyramid is probably just a very perfectly shaped mountain, and that ship could just be an ice formation. The ones that I do find fascinating are the ice cavern entrance and the giant squid. I really don't think there are alternative explanations for those. The ice cavern entrance is obviously an alien base. But let me know what you think in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please subscribe to this brand new channel, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.